Okay, so the topic of today's video is going to be how can you effectively study with ADHD. Now, the students who have ADHD suffers with their studies a lot, and there are some sort of advice which I would like to give you as myself who suffers with ADHD a lot. So the tip number one is going to be that you have to accept the fact that you have ADHD. Whenever you have the, whenever you are not accepting the fact that you have ADHD, you are just fooling yourself into believing that okay, you are normal. But the fact is that you are not normal. And the tip number one is that you have to accept the fact that you are not normal. You are neurodivergent. That is the fact you have to accept. Tip number two is going to be uh, whenever you are finding something interesting, just do it. See, our ADHD brain does not works in a way a normal brain works. Our brain works in a totally different manner. And a very efficient and a good advice would be that if you find something interesting, just do it. Don't put that thing to tomorrow. Let's suppose if I'm studying economics and I'm finding a topic very interesting, just read thoroughly about the topic, research about it, dive deep into it. If you are that much interested in it, just do it. Because when someone has ADHD, they will find some sort of a topic very important and very interesting. Not important, they don't really care if that topic is important or not, but they find that topic very interesting. So do not keep those things up to tomorrow. If you find something interesting, just do it. That is the tip number two which I would like to give you. And tip number three is that just make notes out of the things. ADHD, see, there's a quote by saying that our brain is programmed in a way to think, not to store. So we have a brain which does not store things, but it thinks things, and that is the reason which is why a lot of people forgets a lot of things. And that's why I would like to share some sort of a mind maps. There are some sort of a mind map tips and tricks which helps improving memory, especially in terms of ADHD. And if you are a student also, those things will work for you in that case also. I will be sharing those tips in next video. And the tip number 4 is that whenever you don't find something interesting, you have to make that thing interesting. Let's suppose I'm trying to learn about something in economics, and if I'm learning a very boring topic, and definitely if I'm learning something boring, I'm not going to like that thing at all. So if that is the case, you have to make that thing interesting. How can I do that? So the very good advice is going to be think from a different perspective. ADHD brains are programmed in a way that they find those things interesting which solves a real life problem. So you have to look up to those things from a different perspective. You have to change your perspective. You don't really have to look to the things from a perspective of a student, but you have to look to the things how those things are going to be are going to affect life of a normal individual. Let's suppose I'm trying to learn economics, and economics is a very difficult subject in itself. So whenever I'm trying to learn a very complex topic, what I do is that I just stop thinking from perspective of a student, and I start thinking from perspective of a regular food vendor. How those economical changes are going to affect the life of that particular individual, and by that perspective, that topics become a survival technique. And a very good thing with ADHD is that our brain is kind of programmed for survival. That is also the reason why we just procrastinate a lot and do the things at the last moment. So that is going to be for today's video. These are the four tips I have shared with you. Third one, I'm going to elaborate my third one in my next video, which is about mind maps.